I'm Lee Daniel from Huntsville, Alabama, in the United States, obviously. And I am a divorce lawyer. I've been a divorce lawyer for about 25 years. I stopped counting. So after 20 years of practicing law, I had hit kind of a wall of where I had everything I could ever want. I had a lake house, I had a house in the city, I had a Mercedes, I had a convertible, I had traveled everywhere, and I was so unhappy. I know. I would just eat and drink too much, and it looked like I had this amazing life, but actually I was so unhappy. So on the second day, Mike said something like, you can keep being unhappy, you can keep going to therapy, you can keep taking pills, or you can just decide to be happy. And I listened at that moment, and I thought, wait a minute, I've spent all this money on therapy and I could have just decided to be happy. And I really kind of, that really kind of resonated with me. And I went back to my room and just thought about it. And I just decided from that point on, I was going to be happy. I really think that people don't deep dive into spirituality. They tiptoe into it, and so I felt like it would be a platform that could relate to everybody and not just people that were already in that space of, say, Hay House or Mind Valley, because we all can agree on positive change. Years into that, I formed Project Positive Change, which is a platform for heart-centered entrepreneurs to share their gifts and messages and to reach more people. Process of, if you wanted to serve the world, if you didn't believe in competition, if you believed in collaboration, if you wanted to support other people, because my big goal is to have the Positive Change Network in every major city and all over the world. To have a publishing house, was to have podcasts, was to have a university, was to have speakers training, and to do events, and to have a local component. And as I sit here right now, every one of those pieces is in place. So this will be our 4-year anniversary, and I have such a huge range. I have around 200 members, and there's such a huge range of people from, I have shamans, and then I have a former FBI agent who does coaching. So, I have ministers, and then I have psychics. And so the only real criteria were the ones I said, and also that, that they were willing to put aside whatever, if you're religious, if they wanted to talk about Christianity or whatever, that they would just realize that our bigger goal is positive change in the world. The very first thing you have to do is change your thoughts. And that's what Mike taught me, and it's served me well. I wish that everybody would learn that they really are creating the world around them. And once you learn that you can create your own world, then you take personal responsibility. And I just find that having personal responsibility for my world is so much more empowering than thinking that you're at the whim of whatever's going to come your way. I mean, we're in charge. We're in charge of our life. We're in charge of what happens to us. We're in charge of how we react to people around us. Instead of being in reaction mode, we're in creation mode. Pieces out. And we're in a space where we're having the Positive Change Network, which will be reaching people on a local level. So we'll be connecting locally, meeting locally, and connecting globally. So it's really an exciting time, and I'm looking for leaders all over the world to help us step into the space where in our communities we're creating positive change together. And so I kept so many things a secret inside, feeling dirty, feeling shameful, and went through my entire life in that place of shame. And so now I share because that helps me, it's not scary anymore. Whatever I've done. And, whatever happened to me, that's freed me. Sharing it has freed me. And I was in that space so many times of, I took an overdose when I was 26, and of course I'm 51 now, it's been a while ago, but so many times I felt like I don't even want to be alive. And if we could just reach more people and tell them that their life doesn't have to be like this. That's so important to me. So just sharing, I'm about to cry, just sharing with the world that you can do something differently.
That's exactly it.
before, I mean, I totally transformed my law firm. So I don't practice law the same anymore. I mean, now we focus on the end results. We don't talk about being a victim. Actually, I'm going to be featured in Forbes on the 4th, on Thursday, for turning my positive law firm into a 7-figure law firm, because I basically more than doubled my business when I actually changed and became the positive, the life that I am now. Even though it has